field around you. And if you can stay in coitus for a long time, you can get this in just this gigantic field happening, and it's piezoelectric, driven from the sex act itself, fueled by the pineal gland. Because remember that the whole point of this, the whole point of alchemy, of Qigong, of Tai Chi, of all these traditions, is you have to open up the pineal gland. You have to push the earth energy all the way up into the pineal gland, controlled by the sky force, which surrounds it and pulls it up. So you're, instead of the earth energy being just a chaotic force that's dragging you down, you become the master of the earth energy, and you pull it up in a little tiny spiral up the spine. And when it touches the pineal gland, then the salts, the calcification of the pineal gland begins to reverse itself, and the dew will help you do this. The golden water, the magic saps from trees, these kinds of things are what you want to do, and of course right living and right practice, and it's a whole entire lifestyle.
Wow, thank you. I really like the film, by the way. And in the film, you talk about the Archon created replica Melchizedek, whose seeming immortality is used as a promissory persuasion tool for human minions who don't realize that only a replica can be immortal, not them. Is it your understanding that this figure has remained in the shadows since the biblical days, or might he have taken on other identities throughout history, or even in present day? Can you speculate on this?
I'd say both. I'd say he's a presence here, and he can get into bodies, and he is the Melchizedek who is the father of the Abrahamic religions, and he brought the forces of Jehovah here to the planet, and the highest people get to meet him. That's their great reward, and then they get promised that they too can live for thousands and thousands of years if they become a follower of him. And then he uses drugs and things that at least allows a somewhat expanded life. I don't know how long these guys at the top can live. I would say about 120 years, it seems. I don't see anybody living a lot longer than that. There are people who do live longer than that, but those are the other people that the Archons are trying to find and destroy. That's the Archon's number one goal, is to find this group that knows the secrets of alchemy and is secretly influencing the human race. That's the group that the Archons want to find and kill, if they can. But it may be all too late now, and that's what I think, because otherwise it wouldn't allow me to even be talking like this. I would be killed. So they obviously, the forces of control on the planet have left or lessened, or they've given up, or something. I don't know.
I have one other question. This one on the Kali Yuga, and I'd like your opinion. I seem to remember you suggesting that we're nearing the end of it. However, others say that we're only about 5,000 years into this 400,000 year age. If you look at the Vedic descriptions of it, it does appear that the worst is yet to come, and it says tormented by hunger, thirst, and ailments. Maximum age will be about 20 to 30 years. People will only live in the mountains and forests and subsist on leaves and roots and meat and little else. Which camp are you in with respect to our current position in the Kali Yuga?
I'm in the camp that actually says that the Kali Yuga began in 3104 BC and ends in 2422, I believe. 2442. I believe we have about 400 years left, but I think that there's and my good friend Robert Lawler has a really, really good book coming out about all of this. I should just defer to him because he can explain it better. But he calls it the twilight. And there's a 540-year twilight, the last 540 years. And that twilight began in 1938. And every 72 years, we descend one step further into the twilight. And 2010 was 72 years into the first step into the twilight. And so there's a period of twilights, each one getting darker and dimmer. However, just because the world is thrown into those things doesn't mean that you have to be. So, you have to think about that. Yeah, 99.99% of the human race is going to be eating roots. I think that's probably going to happen very soon. But, the search for knowledge and truth can go on no matter what happens. And so we can't give up the ghost here. And anyway, you want to be alive at the end of the world. It's supposed to be really a lot of fun. So,
thanks, Jay. So as we're in the Kali Yuga 2012 Cross of Henday topics, my question, Jay, for you was magnetic changes are taking effect on our planet. Maybe it is primarily due to the sun, or maybe the sun is reacting to energies from outside our solar system. In either case, have you researched the possibility of magnetic pole destabilization and a magnetic pole flip? We know of Robert Felix's excellent scientific work, but was wondering if there was any evidence of that in your research through either historic records like Prana, Henday, Hopi, or Maya.
I think that's absolutely what's going on. And I think Felix has it nailed. And I think that's what the Cross of Henday is talking about. I think that's what the record shows. I think there's magnetic reversals. I think they're driven by a concatenation of effects through the nested dynamics of galactic physics. The galaxy goes, then the sun goes, then the earth goes, then we go. Everything has a commensurate step down effect, as in like a transformer. And so we're getting ours, and it's happening right now. And this is the end of the magnetic field cycle. And there's, it happens all the time. It's a natural thing, and science is now beginning to accept it. So the Cross of Henday is being proven right. The scientists are stumbling over each other, trying to write books about all of this right now. It's incredible. And I see it in the literature. I can't believe it.
Thank you, Jay. Just one quick follow-up before we go to Uranus. So in your examples you've given, you've stated that ancient people would stay in caves and then put a twig out and it'd catch on fire. I mean, that to me, for a long period of time, that to me doesn't show it's a CME, but something like the magnetics of the Earth has disappeared and we're getting cosmic radiation. What did you think of that?
It's both. When the field collapses on the sun, there is a commensurate CME release. The Earth field collapses, which is happening right now, and we're getting things, and even right now, that we've never seen before. We don't even have machines to measure them. Rays from outside the galaxy are bombarding us, and like Robert Felix says, this is the thing that the evolutionary biologists were looking for, that mechanism which causes evolutionary shift and change. And so, yeah, it's a magnetic field. We're magnetic. We're piezo-magnetic. If you don't understand that, you won't get alchemy, because that's what you're buffering. That's what you're creating. That's what you're buffing up. I mean, when you do alchemy is this electromagnetic field, and it's not just the strength of the field, it's the coherence of the field. And the coherence of the field is driven by right living and meditation and eating right and all that. And so the Earth's field is in a deeply incoherent state right now. The sun's is collapsing. The center of the galaxies is probably collapsing. And probably the center of the universe is going through a collapse. So what do? You hoard a bunch of ammunition and food, or do you try to get your field, your own personal field, more coherent and more strong? And I think that the answer is the latter. It seemed much more sense for you to concentrate on keeping your own little neighborhood coherent, if you know what I mean.
Okay, great. Jay, I believe Lauren has another question for you. Lauren?
In previous interviews, Jay, you said that you would be spending December 21st, 2012 at the foot of the Sphinx, but you never said why. Are you prepared to say why now?
Well, I don't think I'll be able to do it now. I happen to know and quite familiar with the Muslim Brotherhood, and if they're going to take over Egypt, I will never return. Trust me. Those dudes are really scary. I did that because of the front piece in Mystery of the Cathedrals by Fulcanelli has the alchemist standing between the paws of the Sphinx looking east, and I knew that he was trying to say that when you figure out the truth, that's where you want to be. And I imagine you want to be there because it's some kind of pivot place or something. There's something about the pyramids and why they're there that is trying to signal to us that this is some sort of locus for the hyperdimensional field around the Earth. So maybe it just doesn't get as twisted in the reversals or something, or maybe the heavy limestone of the pyramids themselves create a piezoelectric field strong enough to protect that area from the magnetic reversal, and perhaps that can be done on a localized basis by people, and that's something that we should all be thinking about. So it's hard to say, but they've stripped off the limestone casing. The Islamic people did, and made mosques with it, so they may have been neutered in the 700s, so we don't know. I suspect that they've been neutered. So the pyramids may not work anymore. But anyway, I've already stood between the paws of the Sphinx, so I've already done that, so I don't need to do that anymore.
Thank you, Jay. Jerry, you have a question?
Yes. Regarding the double catastrophe Fulcanelli spoke of, I'm not clear on exactly what's lining up. We've got the Earth's equatorial plane, Earth-Moon system plane, Sun's plane, solar system's plane, all orbiting the galactic center and all precessing, and then there's, of course, all the magnetic spin axes that don't line up with the physical spin axis.
And you're asking me what all that means?
Well, basically, what is it that's the major lining up? Are all of them lining up at once, or some subset?
What's going on is that there seems to be some kind of link to the angle at which the Earth sits towards the center of the galaxy. And what we're doing now is we've been angling away from the center of the galaxy via the precession of the equinoxes for the last 13,000 years. And now, right now, it started in actually 99, 98, we've turned the corner and we're actually starting to angle in towards the center of the galaxy. And this is causing, it's